Hello there, Virgo. Welcome to my channel. Victoria here, Radiant Moon Tarot. This is your October 2023 love reading. The energy for this reading will be activated mid-September. I'm doing this a little bit early, and of course all the way through to the end of October. So let's have a look and see what we've got coming out for you guys. This reading is for those of you currently in a romantic partnership of some kind. If you are single looking for love, I will have a separate singles readings out for you. And if you're watching in September, they're already done. So check the link down below and find your reading there. So this is for if you're in a romantic partnership of some kind, even if you're in a temporary separation, if it comes up, we'll address that. And let's see what we've got going on. So we're starting out with all that glitters. Now, this is card 16, so there's a little bit of energy here of the tower energy, right? There's something here that's got to go. Something's got to shift here. You may have some sort of revelation. All that glitters is showing you that there's something that isn't quite what it seems, right? You know, that saying, all that glitters is not gold. So this is really an invitation and an energy where you may be being a little bit more realistic about certain things within your relationship, or even things going on around your relationship. What is it that you really want? Is there something that is hidden that needs to come to light? For example, if you're just getting to know a person, right, you're all in a different stage of your relationship. Maybe you haven't been together too long. Maybe you've only been together a few months, and, you're evolving, you're getting to know each other a little bit more on a different level. And this may be where someone is maybe putting on a little bit of, not necessarily lies, but you know how sometimes in a relationship or at any time of our life, sometimes we make things seem better than they are. So you might be with somebody who, let's say for money, for example, maybe they like to buy things, they buy you gifts, maybe they, have like really nice furniture, live in a nice place, but what's hidden behind the scenes is maybe some credit card debt. They're living beyond their means a little bit, right? Because it's like, flashy. So there's things like that, right? Or, it's kind of like when you ask people, how are you feeling? And they're like, oh, I'm absolutely fantastic, but they're actually putting on a false face, a false mask there, right? So it's like their feelings aren't necessarily being revealed in a positive way. And quite often it does come from people feel a little bit insecure. So when the all that glitters energy, okay, this may be that in the next month and a half or so, there's something that is revealed to you. Something on the surface isn't quite what it seems like, and the truth is behind the scenes, all right? So it's not necessarily someone being evilly deceptive or anything like that, but again, we do tend to sugarcoat some things. Now, all that glitters is also a reminder about envy and jealousy. We quite often, especially in our relationships, if we're, whether we're feeling really good about our relationship or whether there's some uncertainty going on, we do tend to look at other people, other couples. What is their relationship like? Oh, look at all the bright and shiny messages on Facebook and all this kind of stuff. And the really important message here is that nobody takes pictures of the bad times. No one takes a picture of when you're, laying on the couch, curled up in a fetal position, crying because you've just had a monumental fight with somebody, right? We don't post pictures of that. That's not what social media is typically all about. So when we look at other people, other couples, other relationships, our friends, our family, we need to be very mindful of the fact that on the surface doesn't always reflect what happens behind the scenes, right? So just be a little bit aware of that if you're like maybe jealous of other couples and things like that. And it's like, oh, I want to be like them. Well, behind closed doors, maybe you don't want to be like them, right? So stay in your own lane kind of thing, right? Focus on your relationship, what's going on behind the scenes for you. We have mending coming in here as well. So even if there's a revelation and maybe there's something a little bit difficult to deal with, you have an opportunity to fix it, to heal it, to, to restore some, restore some trust. maybe, because sometimes if people don't tell us everything right away, then sometimes we're like, oh, so you're lying to me. And it's not necessarily that they're lying. Sometimes it's just that we're maybe not ready to, reveal the, full on hardcore truth about something. So there is an energy here of healing, forgiveness, working together, right? The mending card is not one of, oh, wave the magic wand and everything's fixed. It's one of working together and being on the same page and working to restore the status quo, restore trust, restore harmony. And, maybe there is a little bit of an olive branch that is extended there in that energy. So I do feel here that if you are in a temporary separation with your person here, I do feel that if you can get beneath the surface, scratch beneath the surface, and really reveal what you both want, reveal the truth, reveal, like, just be completely open and honest, then here in that mending energy, should you both want to, you can really get back on the same page and you can repair what is previously broken. Okay. So the mending energy is really positive, no matter where you are, because sometimes we just have a little tiny argument, and maybe, something that lingers a little bit. Okay. And, other times it's something a lot bigger than that. But in the next month and a half, we've got a new moon in Virgo, September 14th, and Mercury is in Virgo right now. So there's a lot of honesty and clarity that comes out in that energy. The new moons do bring about a new phase, new energy, new beginnings, right? Great time to manifest things in your life, whatever it is that you want out of your relationship. We have a full moon, September 29th, in the sign of Aries, and this one might actually be quite fiery for you guys, all right? It's like a lot of passion in the air, wonderful. But with the full moon emotionally charged energy, that passion can turn into just a little bit of spiciness, okay? And, it might be a good thing for some of you, but it might be a little bit of a challenge for others of you. Along with that full moon, we do have Venus, the planet of love and abundance, right? Clashing with Uranus. Uranus is the planet of rebellion and change. And so this might be where there is a little bit of a power struggle within a relationship. Okay. It may be really positive for some of you because we've got Mercury in a wonderfully positive aspect to Uranus. So this could be one conversation may turn things around completely for you, right? Whether you're going through a rough patch or not, one conversation, right, is probably the all important one that you may have in the next month and a half. But yeah, there may be some liberating kind of energy, finding freedom, releasing challenges, right? Finding forgiveness so you can move forward. But we head into eclipse season in October, and eclipses, in history and medieval times and things, they feared eclipses, right? Because all of a sudden the sun went away, or there was some weird stuff going on in the sky, so they freaked out. So historically, it's been a time of fear. We're a little bit more enlightened these days, and our technology has gone a long way. But eclipses do shake things up. So they bring things to the surface that have been hidden, all that glitters. They bring feelings out. They bring, desires out. They bring, anything that you've been putting aside in a relationship. Boom, there it goes, right? You can't ignore it. So when eclipses are there, they're meant to shake things up for us. So we do have new moon eclipse in Libra. Some of you could be lucky in love. There might be some power struggles, but it's a great time to have a relationship reset and detox a relationship. And that's the middle of October. And then the end of October, full moon eclipse in Taurus. So this can bring us down to earth a little bit and help us completely resolve some things. So we've got some very interesting things going on in the next month and a half. And this is all shaking up your energy right there. But we do have higher power coming in here also. And this is all about your intuition. Your third eye is open. You've got a vision for your relationship. You got a vision for your future, right? If your spidey senses are tingling and throwing up any red flags, you've got to pay attention to them, especially when we've got all the glitters, right? It's like, something's not quite right here. I can't quite put my finger on it. The question is, are you going to question it? Are you going to look into it further, or are you going to ignore it? The choice is yours. right? But there may be some things that you just can't ignore because it's like something's bothering you. All right. And it's because your intuition is say, hey, you know, you got to deal with this, you got to pay attention to this. The higher power energy, though, does represent your ability to turn your vision, turn your goals in a relationship into reality. And, you know, so you might be dreaming of something, maybe you're daydreaming of something, maybe you've got a little bit of fantasy energy going on in there, right? So what are you going to do with it? Okay, you can turn a vision into something real, into something beautiful, the star energy, wherever the Uranus energy right there. So you can turn something into reality, whatever that is that you want. Hold your vision, right? And believe. If you really do want to repair something, and if two parties are willing to move forward, right, then here you go. We've got a little bit of magic. Whoa, thank you. In the air, and a little bit of maybe passion restored there for you. We've got the Six of Coins at the bottom of the deck here for you, and this is actually really wonderful. The Six of Coins is the Six of Pentacles, and it's actually a really positive energy because it is about balance. It's about restoring balance. It's about two people sharing a relationship equally, equal level of commitment, equal level of responsibilities, being on the same page about your wants, your needs, your desires, your future. So if things are a little bit out of alignment right now, this is where you can really restore the status quo, where you can get things back on track. This is also about new relationships blossoming, right? And it's a beautiful energy because the Six of Coins is a circulatory energy. What we put out comes back to us. So this is where, you know, if you express your feelings, you know, hey, I love you, right? You get the I love you back. Woo, right? If you are living with your person, or you decide to move in with your person, this is equally dividing the household chores, the bills, all of that kind of stuff, right? It's not a one-sided relationship. The Six of Coins is that balance within, and it's a lovely energy. Now, some of you may even get a little bit of a surprise because the Six of Coins, it can quite often bring something that you didn't quite expect, maybe something you wanted, but, you know, something that you didn't quite expect, and this can be a gift, right? So some of you may have gifts coming your way. You know, perhaps you get some improvements in your finances, and this takes some pressure, some strain off of relationships. Okay, money really does play a massive role in relationships. So it's a wonderful energy with that Six of Coins, but again, you might have a little bit of a surprise. And of course, with eclipse season coming up, this brings surprises, okay? But we do have the energy of the star right now in this deck. It's called Sitara, and it's such a beautiful energy. The star is Aquarian energy Uranus, who is playing a few key roles in our relationships in the next month and a half or so. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, and Aquarius is represented by the star energy. So this is about healing and balance, restoring the serendipitous connection, if you will, within your relationship. This is where you can feel more optimistic about the future. The star energy is a very futuristic energy. If you think of Aquarius, Aquarius is very forward thinking, right? Big picture thinking, and is all about, you know, for the good of everybody, right? So you've got everyone's needs and wants and desires that are, you know, really important to you, right? It's not all just about you. So it's a great energy, right? Because it's an outward one. But this is also about making plans for the future, or how do we move forward from a sticky situation right now? And this does bring in a lot of peace, a lot of calm, brings hope, right? Very hopeful for things here. So I feel if you do, you know, if you do have some issues within your relationship right now, you may be feeling a little bit more hopeful about the direction that you're going in with your person, and more hopeful about the direction your relationship is going in general, right? But this is where the stars align for you. There's a little bit of magic in the air when we do get this particular energy. You may have an Aquarian person who maybe plays a key role somehow in your relationship. Maybe your person is Aquarius, or you might actually have Aquarius in your chart somewhere, right? But it is a very lovely energy with this. Miracles and blessings are the order of the day. when we have beautiful, when we have the Star card. Okay, so it is a big yes card. And we also have big yes energy coming out here as well. So for some of you, you might be, again, one conversation, as we already said, one conversation, especially around that full moon in Aries at the end of September, could change the course of your relationship. And I feel here with all of this energy for the better. Okay. And someone may pop the question, or someone may have that all important conversation. Do you want to move in together? How are we going to restore balance in our relationship? How are we going to divide up our bills? Right. And everything is a very positive communication coming in here for you guys. So it's very nice. And, maybe you're paying attention to some details too. And of course, we do have Mercury and Virgo, especially around that new moon in the middle of September. So this can be really where you do hash out some things and have some wonderful, wonderful communication. But we've got the Two of Cups coming in here. So there is such a focus in here on balance in your relationship, right? Two people coming together. The Two of Cups is a wonderful energy. We're getting on the same page if you're not already. Your relationship is evolving. You're moving forward, right? Star energy there. You're moving forward. You're talking about the future probably, especially since we've got the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Okay, you're talking about the future. What do we both want? What are our desires? And you're feeling it, right? You're feeling it in such a positive way. The Two of Cups is where two people come together in love, true love, also sometimes a soulmate energy here, and guided together by the stars, most likely. All right. So it is beautiful, but we do have the lines of communication open, the Ace of Swords, big old yes card. So again, there might be a very important conversation that you have that can really highlight your future within a relationship here. And with the Ace of Swords being this energy, this is bringing clarity, focus. This is where we really do speak something that we want into existence, right? And it's a beautiful energy, right? There's no miscommunication when we do get the Ace of Swords. Now, perhaps some of you here are talking about the future, or perhaps some of you are being asked a question, or you're going to ask a question. But this does bring a lot of clarity, right? We're getting away from all of the uncertainty, or we're digging deep behind the scenes, right? And the truth, right, can certainly be revealed with this Ace of Swords. So it is a sword of victory, a sword of destiny, okay? Fated energy comes in here with this, right? But this is new energy, new communication. This is new information that may even come to light. It could be revelations here for you as well. But the Ace of Swords is an awesome, awesome energy to really bring a lot of clarity to you. And we've got the Queen of Swords as well. So if you have any decisions to make, the Queen of Swords is an awesome energy to do that, because the Queen of Swords is very logical, is very clear-minded, clear-headed. This is a very decisive energy, right? The Queen of Swords is like, first we have a discussion, we talk about things, right? Talking about your feelings, Two of Cups and the Ace of Swords, okay? And once the Queen of Swords has all the information, has all the details that are necessary, then boom, we're making a decision and we're sticking with it. The Queen of Swords very tapped in, tuned into intuition, into inner wisdom, and this helps make decisions all that much easier. The Queen of Swords also, though, is an energy where we're being open, we're being receptive, we're talking about things, we're friendly, we're jovial, we're cracking jokes, but there is here a little bit of an energy where there may be something here that you do need to put up some personal boundaries somewhere, all right? And sometimes it can be with external sources, right? Especially if there's been like any family or exes or anything causing some disturbances in the force of your relationship, all right? But this can also be where we really do treat people or teach people how to treat us with the Queen of Swords. And it's by putting up boundaries. It's by stating what we're willing to accept and what we're not willing to accept. And that is a very important turning point in a lot of relationships. It's an incredibly important conversation, and usually there's more than one of those, right? It's not just one and done, because we do teach people how to treat us, right? And the more we accept a bad behavior, or things that, are really get under our skin, the more we accept that, the more it's going to happen and the more resentment that we got built up. So here in this Queen of Swords, not only is there some boundary setting there, some teachable moment perhaps within your relationship, right? But you're also saying, no, enough is enough. Okay, we're not going to do this going forward. We have to do things differently. Ace of Swords, we got to turn the page. All right, so some very positive communication there in all aspects. All right, but we do have the Daughter of Cups coming in here as well. This is beautiful. This is the energy activating for you. Okay, and the Daughter of Cups is the Page of Cups energy. And the Page of Cups is where we're opening our heart. We're feeling some love in the air. For some of you, it's a fresh start. For some of you, because it is a page energy, they represent children. Perhaps you're talking about starting a family, or what your deep wants, needs, and desires are within a relationship. Do you want a family? Do you want to add to your family? Are there children already that you have in your relationship, or that you are like, okay, well, it's time to move in together, or we want to move forward with our relationship. Now it's time to meet the kids, right? That kind of thing. Relationships are a little bit more complicated these days than they used to be. So there may be children playing a key factor somewhere, and this is incoming energy, right? So, perhaps there is a focus more on home and family. Perhaps some of you are talking about starting a family, but the Daughter of Cups energy is a little bit of a surprise. May come for some of you, right? Because this is sometimes where we do get something that's really wonderful. It makes us happy, puts a smile on our face. It makes us feel like a little kid again. Like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. So some of you may be getting quite the happy surprise coming in here. I really do feel that someone is talking about popping the question, or you may actually have a surprise pregnancy. So if you are not considering starting a family, you may want to take some precautions, boundaries with the Queen of Swords, okay? Because not only do we have the Page of Cups, which quite often can represent, guess what? I got a bun in the oven. We also do have the Empress card here as well, which is the card of fertility and pregnancy. And it is in your challenge position. So just be a little bit aware of that. If you're not planning to start a family, and it's not you don't think that that's in the cards for you, or it's at least not part of your best laid plans, there may be some elements at play here that are delivering you something anyway. Okay, so if you really don't want that, make sure you do take those precautions. But the Page of Cups does bring a lot of love and a lot of wonder into your relationship. It's where we open our heart, where we explore our feelings, where we do say our I love yous for the first time, possibly for some of you. And it's awesome energy, right? It's just all full of imagination and thinking about the future, and thinking about, it's a little bit of a daydreamer kind of energy in there. Where can this relationship take us? And probably for some of you, a higher level of commitment, and maybe even a happily ever after. There is a very important conversation here in your next little while. We've got the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords quite often does deliver some sort of messages, news, information, revelations. Okay, and with the Daughter of Cups there, this can be talking about your feelings, talking about, what you want. What do you want to create, the life that you want to create with your person? You might get some very interesting news about children. Knight of Swords, okay? Just saying. We also have the Ten of Cups coming in here with the King of Pentacles as well. So there is like a building of something here for the long term. So the Knight of Swords can deliver you some very interesting or surprising information. But it can be that revelation, right? So, it can be, this is where, maybe your intuition is going crazy. And especially if you're just getting to know your person, you don't know everything about their private life yet. You're just a couple of months in, maybe you're just starting to evolve. And this could be where, hey, shocking surprise, they have children, and maybe you didn't know that before. Okay. Maybe there's like, been some issues with an ex and that kind of thing, right? But this can be where you're like, oh, wow. Okay. Well, I didn't expect that. Okie dokie. All right. But I do feel there's some very positive energy coming in here with this, and probably something that's going to put a smile on your face, especially when we get the 10 of Cups and the King of Pentacles. 10 of Cups, happily ever after energy, happy home, happy family, happy relationship, right? And with the King of Pentacles coming in here, the King of Pentacles represents long-term commitment, something where, we're in this for the long haul. We're committed to this relationship, committed to moving forward. The 10 of Cups quite often does represent like children and things like that. So we do have that going on. But the King of Pentacles brings commitment, stability, and security for the long term. And it's a wonderfully grounded energy. It's like, hey, I'm not going anywhere, right? The King of Pentacles can also represent that, yes, maybe some of you are building a life with your person, or maybe there is some movement here with the Knight of Swords. We quite often have to make a decision, or there is some action that we need to take. And with the King of Pentacles, that can quite often be your where you actually live. So maybe you're moving in with your person if you don't already live with them. Okay, you may actually have one of your kids moving out. So maybe you're about to be some empty nesters and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool, right? So you may have that going on there too. But with the King of Pentacles, we're solid, we're stable, we're committed, we're good. Okay, and maybe you're breathing a little bit of fresh life into your relationship as well, because the King of Pentacles, solid, stable, dependable. We're, seeing things through. We're taking our time, right? And it's all on the up and up here with this energy, bringing you a lot of stability. But the thing is sometimes the King of Pentacles is maybe not quite always an energy of having fun. Right, of having fun, letting loose, right? It tends to be a little bit more of a serious energy, very practical, very down to earth. So this could be where you're maybe with that Page of Cups, you're infusing a little bit more fun and lightheartedness into your relationship, right? Maybe we can go out and we can, go and play some mini golf or something like that instead of having like a business golf tournament, just something, or whatever floats your boat, right? Maybe you go on vacation, or, you pick up a hobby or something like that. So the Page of Cups, very creative energy. So maybe you're getting a little bit creative within your relationship there, just to bring things out of the ordinary into the more exciting. All right. So be willing to try something new in your relationship, and it will likely very much pay off for you there, because the pages do bring new energy and they do elevate our situation to the next level. Now, in your challenge position, we do have Venus. Okay, Venus representing the Empress card. And as I already said earlier, September 29th, we've got a full moon in Aries. And Venus is not playing nice in the sandbox with Uranus there. Okay, and this can be where there is something that gets revealed. There might be some surprise, of course, at that full moon. Full moons do bring closure, but they can also really reveal things. They can be very emotional. And with Uranus in there, Uranus tends to rebel. Uranus can break us free, break us out of cycles or stagnation. So it can actually work in your favor, because it can be a very liberating energy. But it does require us to put in a little bit of work, okay, or to open up the lines of communication, right, in a different way, or maybe even a better way. So this is where you may have a little bit of a challenge there for you, okay, but I feel here that, that if you're keeping those lines of communication open, right, then you can really figure things out. Now, also a challenge here with this is possibly some emotions, right? Venus does rule our emotions, our resources, and when we get these eclipses coming in, we're now heading into the Libra Taurus axis for eclipses, and both of those are ruled by Venus. Venus is the Empress card. So in that energy, there is a big focus on our relationships, on our finances within our family unit, within our relationship unit. This is where we really do focus on finding balance and harmony within relationships. And this is really where, again, anything that's been hidden or buried or ignored, this is where those things come to the surface, right? For us to address them. But yes, it can create a little bit of turbulence, a little bit of uncertainty there, and it can really shake things up a little bit, right? But ultimately, even though that Empress card is in your challenge position, it's not the same as it being reversed. It's just something where the energy slows down a little bit, or something that is maybe a little bit of surprise to us. This is where maybe we do need to put in a little bit of extra effort, a little bit of extra time on our relationships there to figure out what we want, how we want to move forward. For some of you, this is a fresh start because the Empress card does bring in new energy, right? So for some of you, this is a new beginning in some way. Now, maybe it's a new life with your person. Maybe you're moving into a new home. This is a new stage of development in your relationship. New children on the way, possibly for some of you. Okay. And this is like a new way of being. But anytime we do have something new or growth, right? Growth within a relationship as well, this can represent that we do need to put a little bit more focus on things. Now, the Empress card does bring about growth. It's also a time of harvest and abundance in your life here as well. So I do feel that if you've been lacking an emotional connection with your person, maybe there's been some external factors going on. We do have an Eight of Pentacles here, and an Eight of Pentacles is a card that's very positive, but it's very productive in its energy. But in a challenge position, it can be that there is some sort of focus away from a relationship and more on work. Okay, it may also represent that in order for you to move forward with your relationship or to bring in that growth, right, you have to take some initiative, you have to take some action, and you do need to work on your relationship, right? And I do feel that the benefits to that, right, will be wonderful for you, okay, because a lot of love in the air with that. But we do have the Eight of Pentacles, so this can be where someone is focused on work, focused on schooling. This can be where it's maybe like knocking off a little bit of balance in your relationship there. But this is an energy of commitment, right? Being committed to your relationship, right? And working on that in a very positive way. Okay. But again, it's like you got to do something, right? You're not just necessarily going to sit there. I hate to say September's a little bit calmer, but when we get into latter part of September and October, right, this is where, any cracks in the armor, they're going to be revealed. And then we do need to do something about it, right? In our relationships there, we need to take charge. We've got the Emperor energy. And again, challenge position. The Emperor is Aries energy, full moon in Aries, 29th of September. Okay, this is probably going to shake something up for you or, really require you to find a little bit more stability, take charge in your relationship, and take a little bit of action, okay? Because there's destiny at play here with the Chariot card, okay? The Chariot card is Cancerian energy. This is an energy of success and victory. So is the Emperor as well, all right? The Emperor is where we're solid, we're stable, we're taking charge, we're using our wisdom that we've acquired, that we've built, and, we're, being a little bit, we're figuring out a plan, right? We're figuring out a strategy there and we're executing that successfully. But in this energy right here, with it being a little bit of a challenge, first we got to figure out what it is we want, right? And then we got to take charge of the situation. There could be some family issues going on here with that Emperor card as well. Okay, so maybe there's something to do with some parents. It could be something from the past, from childhood, okay, but it can actually be something in the present here as well. So there could be some attention diverted from some of your relationships here. Maybe you've got to deal with an ailing parent, or maybe there's some advice that might come in here from a parent. Something's quite often the Emperor card can represent a patriarch, okay? But I do feel with this Aries energy, this passionate, fiery energy, where we do need to take some initiative, we need to take some action. feel this is very much highlighted for you around the end of September. But we do have the Chariot card here as well. And again, this is a card of destiny. So there's something here that's meant to happen, that you're meant to experience. It's written in the stars for you. So if there is, some children at play for some of you here, it's like it's meant to be. It might not be what you planned for. You might not have realized that it's, in your future, but here it might be for you. Okay. There might also just be some other things in your relationship that you're dealing with that, again, you just have to deal with. It's like a rite of passage as far as a relationship goes. But the great thing with the Chariot energy is that we can resolve situations. We can move forward. We can restore the balance. We can get what we want. Okay, but we've got to take action. This is a card of ambition and willpower. Okay, where there is a will, there is a way, and ultimately we believe in ourselves. And again, this might be a little bit where you might lack a little bit of confidence in something, but if you knuckle down, you take practical steps, and you open those lines of communication, then your confidence may be quite restored there for you. All right. But the Chariot card is also one where we need to find balance. When two people are aligned, right, this is where our relationship can move forward in the direction that we want. But if we're two people on a different page, then we're splitting off in different directions. But I feel here in this energy, it's all in the upright. Okay, we're actually not getting any reversals for you, and I do have reversals in these decks. This is where we can deal with our issues, and we can resolve them in a way that is satisfying for us. Okay. We have the Son of Staves here as well. Now, this is the Knight of Wands energy. All right. And this is bringing in an energy of passion, of excitement. This is where we're, maybe having a little bit of fun. This is where we're taking action, and we're just really excited about the direction that we're going in. Now, the Son of Staffs, yes, sometimes, the first conclusion that some people jump to when we get this, it's the Knight of Wands, right, is that, oh, that's a player energy. We want to stay away from that. But, hey, maybe some of you do have that coming in, but for the most part here, I'm not seeing that short-term kind of thing, that fly-by-night kind of connection, because everything else here is bringing your relationship in to a good, solid, stable place. But we do have some challenges in love as well. So it may be possible for some of you there that, you may recognize that maybe this relationship isn't necessarily, oh, there he is, we've got Devil card coming out, may not necessarily be the relationship for you moving forward into the future. But you are getting yourself to a place where you know what you want, right? So there might be a little bit of rejection there for some of you, especially when we do have the Mending card. Right? And the Mending card can really indicate that, hey, maybe you can move forward and you can connect with this person. But for some of you, it might be about fixing, healing yourself, and looking forward into the future for something a little better because you've recognized some red flags. All right. But ultimately, though, I think the Son of Staffs is just a very action-oriented energy. So the Knight of Wands is someone, I know what I want, I know what I need to do, and I'm going to take the action that I need to take to get myself to where I need to be, to successfully resolve issues, to successfully get to the next stage, to go out and have some fun, right? When we're filled with that passion, that fire, that chemistry, that physical connection, right? And so much positivity, right? The Knight of Wands energy is always very positive, right? Then I think the world is your oyster, right? But it's very much a breaking free energy, liberating us from anything that has been holding us back or causing us grief in our relationship, which is actually really wonderful considering we do have the Devil card coming out here for you. Okay. Now, for some of you, yes, maybe you're seeing some red flags. Okay. You're working through some things, right? Some things are a little bit of a challenge. And this is where you're like, no way, Jose. I've learned my life lessons. I'm out of here. Okay. I need to go work on me, and there's something better for me in the future, right? I got what I needed out of this relationship, and now I'm done. But ultimately, the Devil card can represent that there are some challenges somewhere that you do need to deal with. And when we get the Devil card, this quite often really does bring our underlying fears, worries, doubts, anxieties out into the open. Sometimes they really keep us stuck and trapped in one place. We can have a fear of revealing our feelings. We can have a fear of starting a family. We can have a fear of dealing with exes if we've got, some messy relationship, right? We can have, a fear of asking certain questions because, oh my good Lordy, what's going to be the answer, right? So there's a lot of things with the Devil card. It's mostly an energy of our shadow side, right? So there's a lot of things with this energy here in our human existence, our human ego, that do keep us bound and trapped and chained, right? Patterns, cycles, behaviors, those underlying fears and worries, right? This is where we can paralyze us in these energies. So this may be something that you're breaking away from. The Devil card is also one of karmic attachments, karmic cycles here, and with this liberating energy that's coming in with Uranus and all this other actually really quite positive energy here, I feel that this is a breakout for you, where you're going to stop something in its tracks, where you're going to take charge, you're going to take action here, and you are not going to let this particular energy hold you back anymore. You're dealing with your issues, getting things out in the open, you're turning a new page, and you're starting fresh. You might be starting over, okay? And, it's not that it's necessarily the easiest thing to do, but I do feel that there's a lot of positive movement sending you out into the future. Some of you may also have a fear of commitment, by the way. But I do feel like you're just going to be facing your fears head on. Okay. But I do feel like there is some sort of cycle that you have an opportunity, an ability here to shut down within yourself or within your relationship itself. It's like, nope, we're going to do things differently going forward. We're going to develop better communication styles. We're going to develop better spending habits, right? We're going to find balance in our relationship, right? Because that Devil energy can represent some imbalance, can also represent some third party energy that causes you grief. And again, I do feel here in this Knight of Wands energy, and the others that I've got out here, that this is your opportunity to really put up healthy boundaries, right? Whenever we get the Devil card, perspectives and boundaries are what is necessary. So I think there that if there's any kind of people around you, okay, that are, causing you grief within your relationship, maybe you've got like a toxic ex, or maybe there's things like, custody issues, right? Or money issues with past people, or maybe there's just like family, right? We do have the Emperor card coming out there. So some of you could be breaking a cycle that was, that was taught to you or started from your childhood. But I do feel like here, if there's any family members, either past or present, that are causing some issues here, I do feel like there is a resolution there for you. Okay, but we do have the Queen of Pentacles with the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands is very important energy here because this does show how strong and powerful you and your relationship is. This shows your ability to turn around and face issues and challenges head on. You're in a position of power and strength, and you're very confident in this energy. All right. And, this is your ability to stand your ground in the face of adversity and not let anything scare you. So the Devil card right here is like, we give in to our fears, right? But the Seven of Wands here is like, no, I'm not going to let, other people or fears or other things, prevent me from moving forward, right? So you might be advocating for yourself, for your relationship, or you may be needing to very much stand your ground and put up some very important and necessary boundaries somewhere in there, okay? But we do have the Queen of Pentacles here as well. Now we've got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So again, there could be some money issues that some of you have been dealing with. Okay. And again, maybe some hidden credit card debt or things like that. Or, maybe someone's been very focused, Eight of Pentacles there, on, working a lot of overtime, right? Because the Devil card can bring in obsessions and things. It can bring a bit about a workaholic kind of energy as well. All right. And, with this, maybe someone is working too hard at their current job and are looking for a new job, right? And this can be where your finances get restored in a relationship. But the Queen of Pentacles is the counterpart to the King of Pentacles. So balance and harmony in your commitment, in your relationship, in your money. Okay. And this is where we get things back on track. And this is where you may really, recognize here in this energy that, you know what, I'm with my soulmate, I'm with my person, and together, right, together we can resolve things. And you see how these cards have lined up. We've got the King of Pentacles facing that Chariot, and the Queen of Pentacles facing the King of Pentacles and the Chariot as well. So again, a card of destiny, working together and being on the same page with that Chariot, right? We get to where we want to go. The Chariot is also a card of movement, right? So moving in together, moving forward in a relationship, right? But when we're on the same page, this is what gets that Chariot going. And the Chariot has the ability to overcome, fly over in leaps and bounds any issues, any obstacles that are in your path, right? But it's because you're both have a common goal and you're both facing the future together. Okay. So if you've been feeling as though there's been something driving you apart, there's this possibility there. Okay. Should you both be willing to put in the work, Eight of Pentacles, okay, to get things moving forward in the direction that you want to move forward in. So overall, I think you've got some really positive energy, not without its issues or challenges, but hey, such is the nature of relationships, right? But remember that communication very much is the key. So we have surrender your need to always be right. Hello, egotistical devil. Okay. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. Flexibility is the key. Communication is the key to a lot of things. We don't always like to hear that because sometimes we get in the energy where we're like, there's nothing wrong with how I communicate. I communicate perfectly, but that might not actually be how the other person views it, right? Surrender to wonder and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow, right? Be open, receptive, be flexible with your person. And we have surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. Hello, devil. If you are energized and happy, move forward. Just like the higher power energy, okay? Listen to your inner wisdom, right? Listen to your intuition. It's never going to lead you astray. All right. But I do feel there's some very powerful forces, higher power between you and your person, right? And especially with that star energy coming in there as well. So I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. A lot to unpack. I hope there was something here that resonated with you on some level, though. If there was, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a fantastic month ahead. Okay. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.